everybody, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium for the battle of the two low teams of the MVC. Lawrence High School against Dracut High School. Lawrence still searching for their first win of the season. Dracut coming in at 2-5. Guys, if there's one game the Lancers can win and should win, it's this one.
Yeah, definitely. Special teams hurt them last week against Tewksbury, unfortunately. But Lawrence is hoping to come out and play a great game on all sides of the ball tonight.
Trey, what does Lawrence really have to do to come away with a win here tonight?
Well, they have to stop with the poor penalties that they've been getting over the last few games. And they can really take advantage of the fact that Dracut isn't as skilled a team as the Chelmsford and teams that they've played lately.
All right, we'll see if the Lancers can get their first win of the season. It's a beautiful night here in Lawrence. Game time coming up next.
Hello there, parents. I'm Kelsey Duran from Girls Ensemble, and I hope that you guys can come and visit us at school and be here for us.
I think it'd be like mad nice if like our parents could come. Like, well, not like, you know, that they don't come, but like if they have more support, you know, we'd be up in there. Just kidding. We'll be, you know, we'll do good. Like, we'll do better. Like,
do what we have to do, because we do sing and we do practice and give it all and all that stuff, and we go to the performance and there's just a couple parents and we want to see our parents there.
Help us, we got some credits for you.
You know what, parent? If you're listening to this, I just want to tell you something. We don't get good grades for nothing. You know, sometimes I think that parents don't appreciate us.
We got some
Parents.
Like when we went to roll, because like
Yeah.
Ashley's dad helped us with the fundings and
the
stuff.
driving.
Yeah, and the driving. That was fun.
And Kayla's mom helped us do fundraisers.
Yeah.
Elizabeth's mom was always there when we needed her. It was awesome.
Tiana's mom went to
Yeah, and the spaghetti thing.
Yeah.
His mom was there.
Oh, Chanelli, what you at?
Your
mom came.
Her mom came. Yeah, just not even, they don't even have to give us money, just be there. That'll be awesome.
Be there.
We have to today. Come visit school, just go right away. Parents, come visit. Please come visit. Parents, come visit us now.
We work, some people work, we do school stuff, and not only school, just like be there. So even if they help us, not even in school-wise, we'll try to be more involved in school, and that probably push them to be there too, you know?
Like on like report card night. Not a lot of friends go to that.
Yeah, I
And
know.
like, hello, we're not doing this not just like for us. We're doing it so you guys could be proud
To
of us.
show that
When
we're
there's like
trying.
meetings for parents, there's barely people coming, so it's like it looks bad on us as students.
I like my mom to be here so I could show off my report card.
We need your help today. Come visit school, just go right away. Parents, come visit. Please come visit. Parents, come visit us now. Visit us, please. Help today. Come visit school, just go right away. Parents, come visit. Please come visit.
Tonight's Merrimack Valley Conference football matchup between the visiting Middies of Dracut and your own Lawrence Lancers. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that smoking is prohibited by Massachusetts.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium for this football matchup between Lawrence High School and Dracut High School. It's kind of the battle of the bottom of the barrel teams in the MVC, as Dracut comes in at 2-5 overall, 0-1 in the MVC small, and Lawrence is 0-7, still searching for their first win. Brian Bates along with Trey Cruz and Aaron Cerullo to bring you tonight's action. And guys, Lawrence almost this close to having that first win last week against Tewksbury.
Yeah, Lawrence definitely played their hearts out last week. A couple of mistakes on special teams was what kind of hurt them. But hopefully with Dracut not being as good as they usually are, Lawrence is hoping to come out and get a big win here tonight.
Yeah, the Lancers were unable to maintain their first lead of the season, especially going into halftime, as they were up 6-0. But Tewksbury scored 24 unanswered third-quarter points, holding on to a 38-20 MVC victory. So Lawrence unable to get their win, but hoping tonight to get their first win of the season. Trey, Dracut comes in at 2-5. They're not the type of team that Lawrence, is used to playing this season. It's always been the big banging up opponents, Andover, North Andover, Chelmsford. This may be their first chance of the season.
Yeah, you mentioned Chelmsford, and I think that was kind of their coming out party. They lost the game, as they've lost every, but it seems like they can really learn from that, and it looks like tonight they have a shot at winning because Dracut's only 2-5, and Chelmsford is a very strong team, and to be able to go that well against such a team as that really says a lot about Lawrence.
The MVC small school division is led right now by North Andover at 2-0 in the division, 3-3 overall. Looking at the records, it's kind of a weak division, if you will. I mean, Haverhill's 5-2 overall, but they're still 1-1 in the small school, so it's wide open.
Yeah, Haverhill hasn't played any real big teams yet, like the Andovers or the Centrals, so they'll get there the second half of the season.
We'll see if the Lancers can get their first win of the season. Nelson Valerio, the quarterback for Lawrence, shaking up big time against Tewksbury, leaving the game and walking off at the end of the game rather with a lot of ice on his shoulders and body overall.
It's unfortunate because Nelson is a young quarterback, but hopefully over the next couple of seasons he'll be able to develop more strength.
There were some thoughts among many that Lewis Rosen may be put back in the lineup to start as quarterback, but talking pregame to some of the coaches, it looks like Nelson Valerio will get the start and he'll be in.
Yeah, Lawrence definitely has to go with their hot quarterback so far.
Yeah, I think it's really bad that Valerio had to get injured at such a time as this in the wake of Lewis Rosa's injury, and Rosa really led that team very well. And Valerio, I think he was better at being a versatile quarterback. But when you have two injuries going at the same time at the same position with the two main players getting that injury, it's very difficult to overcome.
And Trey, Nelson Valerio had a really good game against Tewksbury. You get some of those numbers for us?
Yeah, well, he completed 15 of 30 passes, going for 161 yards. He got a touchdown to Franger Baez. Actually, he got 7 receptions for an impressive 111 yards. Definitely a great game by
some good fantasy statistics.
Definitely.
And you see there the captains coming out onto the field for the coin toss. Quarterback for Dracut High School is number 14, Ty Bassett. A couple running backs to be aware of, number 22, Gabe Morales, and number 16, Zach Bassett, the quarterback's brother. And wide receiver number 88, Jeff Green for Dracut. And for Lawrence on the field there, as you see, number 81, Franger Baez, as well as George Urena and Chris Pena and Jadiel Polanco there in the middle of the field for the coin toss. So we'll see how it goes.
Couple of stats through 7 weeks. Nelson is 75 for 140. He has 1,076 yards. He's thrown for 10 touchdowns and 5 interceptions with 1 fumble. He has carried the ball 51 times, picking up 212 yards on the ground. His 2 favorite weapons, as we know, as we've seen the last couple of weeks, is Franger Baez and George Urena. Franger with 25 catches for 395 yards and 4 touchdowns, and George Urena with an incredible 31 catches for 457 yards with 4 touchdowns. So definitely two key players in this Lancer offense, as we've seen in weeks past.
Yeah, they're definitely great with getting yards and just kind of a lot of yards after catch for Baez. He's really tend to get the ball pretty deep and then really just keep it going. And they really, when you consider that they're playing Dracut. Dracut lost by 23 points, so their defense, they allowed 51 points. They can't, like last game against Haverhill. So they really can't be doing too great a job at that side of the ball.
Yeah, especially defensively. I mean, letting up 51 points, that's a lot of points in the MVC to be letting up in one game.
And when you have a guy like Franger Baez going out there, it's really tough to stop him from just getting a ton of yards.
One thing that definitely did hurt the Lancer defense last week is Coach Amin sat 2 players. He sat Joby Baez and Robert Hughes. So two key aspects of the Lancer defense.
Yes, Coach Amin definitely benching some players, but also sending a message to the rest. Show up and play or don't play at all. We'll pause a second for the national anthem and then kickoff of the Lawrence High School Dracut football matchup.
open the game. Starting on offense for Lawrence.
So the toss goes to Lawrence. Lawrence will receive the ball to start the game, which means Dracut will get the ball at halftime. As we said, Lawrence still searching for their first win of the season. It's been a disappointing yet kind of growing pain type of season for the Lancers. Young team, especially after Lewis Rose went down to injury. Now Nelson Valerio taking over the helm at that position, and we'll see if they can get their first win here. Also, one of the last games here at their home stadium. Their season schedule front-loaded for the home schedule, as they've been on the road for the past couple games and now return home.
Dan Bluen, Mark Cerullo, Steph Winter, and Christian Guzman. Volunteer assistants are Louis Nova and
size-wise, just looking out there, I mean, Lawrence definitely has the size and numbers and height and weight compared to the Dracut Middies. So that's definitely one thing going for him.
The question is, will that be enough to get them the win tonight? Yeah, it's definitely just tough for this this Haverhill team to be able to stop Lawrence team with such a size advantage overall.
And it's John Roy taken out to the 25.
Chris Seidel with the kickoff to open the game. Fielded by number 11, John Roy. 17-yard kickoff return out to the 25-yard line as Lancer ball, first and 10 Lawrence at their own 25.
So let's see how Lawrence does here. The first possession of the game. It'll be first and 10 from their 26. Valerio in with three backs. One wide receiver, back to pass, scrambling, gonna go long. Baez gonna be over his head and incomplete.
Valerio's pass intended for Franjo Baez, incomplete.
He had the right call on it, just kind of underthrew him a little bit. And ball went right over his head.
Second down and 10 for Lawrence. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen,
a little late there on his reaction.
Yeah.
And the attempt on the part of players, coaches, and spectators to stop their opponents be penalized.
Same setup again. Baez far side. And the give this time is to number 42, Justin Flores. So Flores into the game for the Lancers, starting at running back over Jeremiah Dameron.
Pretty strong defensive moves by there, right there for Dracut. They're really looking strong, and they're not letting Lawrence get much in terms of yards.
And they're opening up with the 3-4, so they have four linebackers in there. Showing blitz and now backing up. Here's the give again. Pass up the middle, caught from 10, 15, 20 yards. And he's gonna keep going. George Arena all the way down to the 25-yard line. A huge gain for the Lawrence Lancers.
A 49-yard pass reception from Nelson Valerio. Moves the ball down to the Dracut.
Valerio with a perfect pass right up the middle. And George Arena takes it all the way down to the 25-yard line for a 49-yard reception.
Already off to a strong offensive start, I guess, for Lawrence. The question now, I think they are in a good position. They're already in field goal range, and so even if they really mess up these few plays, which they're hoping not to do, they can still get some points up on the board.
Flores wide side, gonna cut it up, and he'll be out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And a flag, a late flag, comes in from the back judge. And unsportsmanlike conduct will be on Lawrence.
We've seen that.
We've seen the flags all season long, and just like that, the Lancers will be moved back.
The last couple of weeks, they definitely have hurt themselves with unsportsmanlike or unnecessary penalties.
It's going to be from
like
it's going to be from the spot where the ball went out of bounds, and so it'll be a 15-yard penalty. So it's back to basically the old line of scrimmage, a little bit further back than that. And it will be at the 31-yard line.
Flores picked up 9 yards on a carry, and then a 15-yard penalty against Lawrence leaves the Lancers with 2nd and 16 at the Dracut 31.
So 2nd and 16, Lancers trying to erase that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. There's the give again. This time right up the middle, Chris Pena. Pena gets that back and more down to the 15-yard line. Close to a first down.
Yeah, lately Lawrence has shown that they're really capable of running the ball through the defensive line, and they're really they can really advance the ball like that pretty well. And then with that, in combination with the passing from Valerio to Urena or Baez, they can really become a dangerous offensive threat.
3rd and 2 from the 17-yard line. Flores powers through the middle, and he'll be good enough for a first down.
That's the one good thing about this Lancer offense. They definitely do have a couple of different backs that they can go to.
Yeah.
You have the big bruiser.
And you want that power back in that situation. 3rd and 2, get that first down.
Exactly, and that's when you call in Justin Flores. And then in Pena's situation, he's a little smaller, a little quicker, so he can definitely make cuts a lot easier and faster.
Laura's doing a good job right now running the clock as well as we near the 8-minute mark in the first quarter. Lawrence on the first drive of the game started at about the 25-yard line, has marched all the way down, and they're looking to score a touchdown. And they do. George Urena in for a touchdown. George Urena on the post pattern, right in the corner of the end zone. Perfectly passed ball by number 12, Nelson Valerio.
Now, with the exception of Valerio, this is a very older-looking offense. A lot of grade 12, a lot of senior players. So what I'm wondering is how Valerio is going to learn how to get the ball to guys who aren't our seniors or even juniors, so that he can have an offense that can still produce for more than this year.
So the 2-point conversion, no good, as Lewis Rose is scrambled out of bounds. So Lawrence will put 6 points on the board, and a very good first drive for them.
The one thing that did hurt Lawrence, though, at the end was the 2-point conversion failed. It seems like the last couple of seasons, Coach Amin and his coaching staff have not been able to find a dominant kicker to kick extra points. So that's something that they have to look towards the future, because definitely going for 2-point conversions on a consistent basis is not gonna help you.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things that I have to see when I watch this team play. You notice when they score, they pretty much score by multiples of 6 all the time because they can't really, they don't really have a good, reliable kicker.
Exactly. It's been that special teams problem most of the season for the Lancers, and if you're going to beat the good teams, you got to be able to score the extra points. So Lawrence on the kickoff after scoring a nice touchdown. George Urena on the reception. Dracut now, and we get a nice reception up to beyond the 40-yard line. And quarterback Ty Bassett will take over for Dracut. And the Middies will start with the ball from the 41-yard line.
Now, Lawrence, they've already proven that their offense has improved over the last few games, but the question right here is, will their defense be able to, cover for them? Will they allow them to retain the lead? Because the team that can kick, if the defense doesn't perform, then it'll be very bad, because even if the game would normally be tied, Lawrence's inability to score extra points would put them behind by small deficits, but still deficits.
Bassett on the keeper, picking up a couple of yards there.
2nd and 8. Bassett, the handoff again. Gabe Morales will be wrapped up and taken down at the 41-yard line.
On the carry. He's stopped for a loss of a yard by Jerry Melez, number 53. Third down to Dracut.
Bassett back to pass. He'll be taken out and sacked. Back at the 35-yard line.
Bassett is sacked.
That is an excellent time for a sack. Put them in the 4th down position and force them to punt right now. And Lawrence's offense is really going, so to be able to do that is really valuable right now.
Both sides of the ball playing very well so far here for Lawrence. But one of the keys to the game is coming up right here with special teams, with the punt return. Hopefully they can get a big gain because they kind of hurt them last week.
And back to receive is number 2, George Arena, and number 11, John Roy. And the punt is going to be high and short, only to about the 45-yard line. Watch out, move back. And the Middies will down it inside the 40-yard line at the 39.
McDonald punt is down by Dracut.
So 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. The Lawrence Lancers are up 6-0 over the Dracut Middies. As we said, this is kind of the battle for the bottom of the MVC. Both teams not having really that good of season. Lawrence still searching for their first win. Dracut comes in at 2-5. And surprisingly, the MVC small division is still wide open. No one's really ruled out, even Dracut. Lawrence
on the other hand,
need some extra help, maybe.
Yeah, losing last week really made their chances slim.
Yeah, really sealed the deal last week by losing to Tewksbury.
But tonight is their chance to redeem themselves, even if it doesn't really get them any MVC titles. It can really still give them a spark.
Flores carries the ball for a gain of 3 on the play out to the 45-yard line, just short of the 45-yard line to the 44.
Second down.
And the clock runs. That's one thing I'm really loving about this first quarter so far for Lawrence. They're really doing a good job of running the clock, moving the ball, and that's exactly what you want to see out of a veteran team, and we know that this team is really young.
Definitely made some changes from the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
The offense definitely knows how to communicate now.
And that's what you want to see anyway. You want to see the team, you know, it'd be one thing if Lawrence was still doing the same things they were doing the first week, but they're not. They're progressing each week, maybe taking a step back here and there at some points, but for the most part, doing a great job. Back to pass. Valerio wide open. There's John Roy. He'll stay up right down the sideline, down to the 15-yard line.
There's a flag on the play.
A flag on the play, and this one looks like it may be coming back. A holding penalty. And the men in stripes will talk about it. And it's going to be an offensive pass interference. Looks like a separation penalty from John Roy.
Another tough penalty that hurt Lawrence. The one good thing though, with the first time with their first possession, they were able to get rid of it and come down and score. So they're looking to do the same thing here, or at least eat up as much of the clock as possible. But this penalty will push them way back.
They're going on a hike. So there'll be a 15-yard penalty, bringing the ball back to inside the 30, at just close to the 29-yard line. And it'll bring up
inside their own 30-yard line.
Looks like a second and 21. So Nelson Valerio once again with the 3 backs. Urena and Franger Baez, the wide receivers. Back to pass. Here's Valerio, has scrambled, tripped up, and he'll be taken down at the 33-yard line.
Patrick Noonan brought him down after a gain of 3. Lawrence will have 3rd and long from their own 34.
And the clock continues to run. Very quick first quarter so far.
One of the quicker first quarters we've had.
Yeah. That's thanks to the offense of Lawrence so far, just running the ball. 3 wide receivers near side. Valerio, he'll keep it. 2 blockers, almost like a side screenplay, and he'll be tripped up and taken down at the 37-yard line.
James McDonald made the tackle up around the 37-yard line.
So Lawrence will be forced to punt the ball. It'll be a 4th and 12.
And like we talked about before, Nelson Valerio is a dual threat with his arm, and as we've seen, he's able to break plays down and take off for runs when necessary.
Number 14,
Something good to see out of a young quarterback early in his high school career.
Yeah, and you haven't seen much of I would say I haven't seen much from the Dracut quarterback, even though we haven't seen much of him on the field at all. I really don't see as many quarterbacks as being as versatile as Valerio. And that's kind of a point I've made every game. You've noticed he's been doing these kind of plays every game, and he's been consistently just doing everything.
To pick up their 2nd win of the season. Congratulations.
Talking to some of the younger players in school, especially JV guys, even some of the younger guys on the varsity squad, they're really excited for next season. I mean, they know they have a young team, they have a young quarterback who's getting some great experience now, and they're really excited to get things already going for next season.
Which is good to see.
Yeah. And a flag on the play.
Ty Bassett on the quarterback keeper.
Next year is definitely going to be a breakout year for this Lawrence team. Probably one of their more dominant years, hopefully, that they've had in a couple of years.
And a personal foul is going to be called on number 47, Nathaniel Cruz. He was asking why he got called in the penalty, but it looked like he drove the head end of the Dracut running back.
These officials will protect players as much as possible,
especially in this concussion age.
Yeah, and it's extremely important. You don't want to see players just ending even an amateur collegiate or high school career. You just don't want to see that kind of thing happen to a student.
So Bassett connects. Jeff Breen, number 88, wide receiver, a big boy, right down the middle for a huge gain and a 1st down.
It's where the Lancer defense needs to step up and play some of their better D that they've played.
Here's the carry. Going to be nice taken down for a loss. J.C. Hebert, wide receiver for Dracut, getting some early carries here on in the 1st quarter as the clock continues to tick down as we go under the 2-minute mark.
And they're already in a great position right now, and really, if they can, they have to take advantage of this positioning on the field right here.
Hebert keeps the ball. He'll take it for 3 yards. Ty Bassett, rather. Quarterback Ty Bassett on the carry for 3 yards.
Yeah, now's the time that this Dracut team really takes advantage of their field position, because Lawrence has been really making a lot of horrible plays in terms of penalties.
Yeah, penalties killing them right now.
Yeah, and that's always been the case. And so if they can really take advantage of that, they'll have a good shot. But if they don't, Lawrence will definitely make them pay for it.
Gabe Morales on the carry. Bring up a 4th down. This is 4th down territory, though. You got to just go for it. Kind of outside that field goal range a little bit.
Especially with it being so early in the game. When you have opportunities like this, you want to try and capitalize.
Gabe Morales, the lone back for Ty Bassett, and Dracut will call a timeout. The 1st timeout of the game, and a smart one at that. Kind of read things over, decide what to do. Not much is really known on our side of the ball for Dracut's special teams field goal game, but you're looking at about a 30-yard field goal, 32-yard field goal from where the ball is spotted.
Not impossible, but it would be pretty impressive for a high school kicker to kick one from 32 yards out.
And it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to go for the field goal. So it'll be a 32-yard field goal for Dracut. And it'll be Chris Siddell going for it. And it's going to be blocked by Lawrence. Great special teams. And going to be blocked by number 27, Rainer Almonte, and he's down. Looks like he got a kick right to the midsection, and he may be out of breath. But great special teams coming right up the middle.
And we've seen that a few times earlier in the season with this line of this Lancer special teams, being able to block a couple of field goals, a couple of punts, returning them. It's good to see that this is something that can stay consistent.
Rainer Almonte on the field right now, down after blocking that field goal. Trainer out there.
You have a lot of power behind that ball, especially when you're kicking from 32 yards out.
What were you saying, Trey? You can talk. Oh. And Almonte will get off on his own and walk off the field.
First and 10 Lawrence from their own 21.
Just under a minute here left in the first quarter.
This is probably the best first quarter Lawrence has had all season. They're going to look to add to it. Here's the pass to John Roy. Roy take it up to the sideline and out of bounds.
Pass complete to John Roy. Knocked out of bounds around the 30-yard line by James McDonald, number 10.
Right now, Roy, a very big part of the Lawrence offense to start this game.
Yeah, earlier I only mentioned Nelson Valerio, Ranger Baez, and George Arena as really being key contributors. But I kind of forgot about John Roy being able to put up numbers very well.
He is on the smaller side, physically wise, but definitely a spark for this Atlanta team when one is needed.
Lawrence with 5 wide receivers, 3 near side, 2 far. Going to be a screen pass. Going to be too high, incomplete. Intended for number 3, Chris Pena.
That's intended for Chris Pena, incomplete.
Yeah, Lawrence has had a very good first quarter. One of the things, even though the score is only 6-0, which would be deceiving, you'd think it would be an average first quarter, but one of the things Lawrence is really good at that really comes in handy at times, but it kind of hurts also as well, is that they're good at things that aren't necessarily going to put points up on the board all the time. They can do a lot of things, but they have a trouble when it comes to putting points up on the board.
In the end zone,
yeah, they're not really that good with the scoring aspect of it.
They'll get the yards, just not the points. Looking for some points right now. Here's Valerio scrambling. He'll take it up the middle and knock down short of the 35-yard line.
But that's something common with a young team. Hopefully over the next couple of seasons, as Nelson gets more experience, he'll be able to control this offense a little better. He's been doing a great job so far, but definitely need a little extra push sometime. We got to put points on the board. We have seen some big drives from them earlier in the year.
So the end of the first quarter, Lawrence up 6-0, thanks to a 79-yard touchdown drive, topped off by Nelson Valerio to George Arena touchdown pass, 15-yard touchdown pass to the right corner of the end zone. And right now, Lawrence on their 3rd drive of the game, their first 2 ending in a touchdown and a punt. So we'll see what their 3rd one does as we close out the first quarter. And you guys have had a busy night already, some volleyball. Now out here for some football.
Hopefully this game will go a little better. Volleyball was a tough loss.
One thing we should mention is the field hockey team breaking a huge streak, getting their first win in 55 games. 55 games, that's right.
I don't know how that's possible to lose 55 in a row.
I don't know how many years back that goes, but 55 games, that's a lot.
3 years.
Is it 3 years?
I was told that, yeah.
3 years, so.
I know they played that much.
Let's see if they can build off of that now.
Yeah.
So a bright spot in what has been a kind of a dark fall sports season for the Lancers. Here's Jeremiah Dameron taking up the left sideline, and he'll be hit out of bounds at the 45. So Lawrence doing a great job spreading the wealth on offense.
moves the ball into Dracut territory, spotted at the 43-yard
Good to see early in this game,
First down,
because
Lawrence.
in other games we've done so far, it's usually one specific target for Nelson. But it's good to see that he's being able to throw the ball. They get a couple of different backs in there. Definitely take advantage of all this time, trying to put up another score here.
Valerio back to pass. Baez. That's going to be a little defensive pass interference. Really early. We could have thrown a flag on that one.
And credit to Franger. He almost held on to that ball.
Yeah, one of the things I like about this Lawrence team is they can really they get a lot of these penalties, but actually Franger and a lot of the receivers are capable of getting those kind of penalties. He almost catches the ball in those kind of awkward positions with that almost getting taken down.
Good hands.
Yes, definitely.
First and 10 Lawrence to the Dracut 31.
You're watching the second quarter of Lawrence High versus Dracut. 10:28 to go in the second quarter. Lawrence up 6-0 off a Georgia Reyna touchdown reception from Nelson Valerio. Lawrence on a drive, their third drive of the game, looking to score more. Here's Justin Flores powering through for a gain of 2 for 3. And he'll be down at the 26, 27-yard line.
Gain of 4 yards on first down. It'll be second down and 6.
Bring up a second down and 6. Valerio once again with Justin Flores to his left, 4 wide receivers. Scrambling, still in the pocket, getting a scramble to his left. He'll take it up and just short the first down. And that's a definite move of a rookie quarterback. You gotta know where that first down marker is. And he's gonna be 1 yard shy. If he just dove forward, maybe would have gotten it.
The one good thing though, it wasn't a third down play, so they do have another shot to punch it in right here, pick up the first down, hopefully.
So it'll be third and a really short one.
And they have the big back in there and Justin Flores, so be expecting hopefully a handoff and Justin be able to push his way through.
Guess what's coming? There you go, powering through, and
Justin Flores on
he may be short. Going to be very close. Spot the ball.
Let's see where they spot it.
From this angle, it looks short. But what do I know?
Might be bringing out the chains.
Yeah.
Hopefully Lawrence.
And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Lawrence has got a lot of fans in attendance tonight. A lot of Pop Warner children here. All kind of a lot of posing with the cheerleaders. And I'm wondering if the same will happen with the Pop Warner players. Although that might depend on how the game ends.
Looks like the Lawrence Pop Warner Hurricane team in attendance, along with another good crowd. A beautiful fall night here as we close out the month of October.
Not too bad of weather here.
No, hey, I'm not complaining.
For being almost the end of October.
Could be much colder. Let's see the position of the ball. It looks like, from my angle here, it's going to be short by a couple inches. Or maybe a couple feet.
What you mean onto the 20-yard line?
Just short. So bring up a 4th and 1. Definitely in 4-down territory, you go for it.
Just got to make sure you call the right play.
Right.
And Dracut will be expecting a run. So hopefully Lawrence comes out and throws, or Nelson doesn't have anyone deep and he picks up the first down on his own.
And this is where you could have a nice QB sneak right up the right side.
something they don't run that much.
No.
So, bunch of possibilities here.
And a flag on the play, and that's going to back it up. It's a false start on Lawrence.
Dead ball foul against Lawrence, motion prior to the snap.
So that kind of changes things now, so it'll be a 4th and 6.
4th down and 6.
Still, like you said, 4 down toward territory. You go for it here in this situation, especially only being up by 1 score, and you're only up by 6 points because your 2-point conversion was failed.
So a 4th and 6, 9-12 here to go in the first half. Lawrence up 6-0. Jeremiah Dameron in motion. Valerio will keep it, and he'll get the first down and more. Down to the 10-yard line. Great play calling there.
Despite how that play turned out, it did turn out great. The lack of special teams would normally, that's really dangerous for them, because a fourth down play right there, it's really tough, because normally a team would be able to get a field goal and increase the lead, but it's just tough to be certain that that kind of a play would occur.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, from that distance as well, you got to have a really good leg. You're looking from there about a 35, 37-yard field goal, so you might as well just go for it, and which Lawrence did, and they got the first down and more. Here's the give, and the take will be down for a loss of about 3. So bring up a 2nd and about 13 yards.
Delayed handoff, which benefited Nelson, because Dracut was definitely bringing the heat.
Stop for a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11.
Lawrence looking for their first double-digit lead of the season. They haven't been in that much control in, well, this whole year. It's been pretty tough.
Valerio had a wide open man. Chris Pena was wide open in the left corner of the end zone, just couldn't see him. And Valerio will be taken down.
Tackled for a loss by Gabe Morales.
Credit the Dracut defense there for bringing a quick rush. As you said, Pena was wide open, and the pressure just collapsed on Nelson.
He was just sitting there jumping in the air, waving me down, saying, "Hey, I'm over here."
And that's something that comes with a young quarterback. A more veteran quarterback probably would have stayed in there and probably taken the hit just to get the ball off.
You don't see that in that first initial target. You start scrambling. Rookie quarterback does that matter, and that's exactly what happened there. If he'd stayed in the pocket just a couple seconds longer, you may have seen him.
And in that situation, you might have got lucky, and you might have got a flag in your favor, depending on how heavy the rush was coming. Sometimes on the defensive end, when you bring a quick rush like that, you try and bring the quarterback down any way possible.
So 3rd down and 15. Urena far side, right. Frangibias near side. Here's Valerio. Gonna scramble to his right. Gonna look for the end zone, not open. Finally throws it, gonna be picked off. Picked off by the Dracut middies. And he's gonna take it to the house. No flags in the back. And the middies will tie it up. On a 90-yard touchdown interception.
That was up with a 90-yard interception return for a Dracut touchdown.
And just like that, the Lancers' 6-point lead has
a penalty on this play.
Been decimated, and now it's tied up 6-6.
Looks like there might be a penalty.
Looks like there is a flag down
on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and it looks like let's see what the call is.
Awkward position the way that flag landed. It's tough to see from up here.
Maybe been a block in the backfield.
if that's the case, Lawrence got very lucky there.
Yeah. So no touchdown. So Lancers lucking out on that. So block in the backfield by Dracut. And Dracut will take the ball back at the 35-yard line of Lawrence.
Granted, Dracut does get the interception, but it doesn't hurt Lawrence.
No.
So far, not yet.
Just a very long punt return. 7:08 to go in the first half. The Lancers up 6-0. It looked like it was going to be 12 there.
And again, that's something with having a inexperienced quarterback. You could kind of say, kind of force that ball in there. And the Dracut defense collapsed around his receiver over at the 10-yard line.
Bassett with the keeper. He'll bring it right up the middle, and he'll be tripped up.
Bassett on the quarterback keeper.
At the 32-yard line.
On first down.
Rather than the 26-yard line, 27-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 27-yard line of Lawrence. It's second down and 3.
So hurry-up offense by Dracut. We give this time to Gabe Morales. Morales still on his feet, and he'll be out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Morales on to carry. Ahead for Dracut's first down. Shariel Velez, number 53, made the tackle for Lawrence. The ball spotted inside the Lawrence 10-yard line, so it's first down and goal for Dracut.
Ty Bassett stretching for the end zone.
Quarterback keeper.
It'll be down. They'll mark it at the
Jadiel Polanco
like the 2-yard line. Jadiel Polanco on the tackle.
Spotted at the 2-yard line. Second and goal.
Second down and 2.
Dracut's got a chance to tie things up here and possibly take the lead with an extra point kick.
Bassett's going to be knocked down for a loss of 2 back at the 5-yard line. Great play, Justin Flores.
Makes the tackle for a 3-yard loss.
Flores playing a great both sides of the ball right now.
Third down and goal.
Third and 4. Bassett keeping it, but is going to be stuffed back to the original line of scrimmage, which will be the 2-yard line. So
he is stopped shy of the goal line.
Fourth down.
Big defensive play here for Lawrence.
What do you do here, guys? You go for it, you get the field goal, get on the board.
Fourth down and goal for Dracut.
In this situation, only being down 6, say you go for it, because if you do put up a touchdown, then you can take the lead with an extra point.
And if you don't get it, the worst that can happen is you're down 6, and it's like they can maybe turn up to a 12-point lead, but
not a lot of time on the clock to do that too. So there's a timeout on the field. Dracut with their third timeout.
Not to mention that taking large leads doesn't seem to be Lawrence's strong point this season.
So Dracut will talk it over. It looks like they can end up going for it.
I don't see right now. You still have a whole nother half of football to play. Close.
Go for that touchdown. Yeah. Exactly.
Close game here. Like I said, you're only down 6. So if for some reason you were to score, you can take a 1-point lead with the extra point.
So here we go. Bassett looking to pass, rolling to his right. He's going to keep it. Nope, pass it into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, number 88, Jeff Breen.
Pass complete to Jeff Breen, 3 yards for a Dracut touchdown.
So that'll tie it up 6-6.
6-6 with the conversion pending.
Breen just being able to get by the defensive backs.
So here's the extra point by Dracut to take the lead. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Dracut, just like that, takes the lead, and they're now up 7-6.
Dracut has taken the lead, 7-6.
So definitely not something that Lawrence wanted to see happen, but unfortunately it did, and now they'll have 4 minutes and 38 seconds to kind of play with things and see if they can get back on the scoreboard.
Lancer fans, congratulations go out to the Lancer field hockey team, who defeated
His offense can definitely move the ball down the field pretty easily.
Congratulations, Lancer field hockey, for their 1-0 victory over Rockport.
As you hear that announcement for the field hockey team, 1-0 over Rockport.
You see on the sideline, defensive backs coach Massarillo is talking to his D-backs there, kind of asking them what happened and how did Breen get behind them in that situation. Drake gets a kickoff here. John Murray on the return.
John Roy with a 22-yard kickoff return for Lawrence.
That's what you see, John Roy coming right back at it.
Yeah, John Roy's been an offensive star today. He's really outplayed a lot of guys on Lawrence's offense, and he can really he's shown that he can really put points up on the board, and even if he doesn't, he can really get yards for them.
4:29 to go, 7-6. Dracut on top. Pass or no gain to George Urena. George Urena catching the ball on his knees, ball down automatically.
Second down and 11.
So a loss of 1, second down and 11. Valerio. Franger Baez with the first down.
Up to the 48-yard line. That's good for a Lancer first down.
And that's Baez reminding everybody that John Roy is not the only offensive star on this team.
Baez getting the first down reception as the clock continues to tick. One thing you don't want to do is give the ball back to Dracut.
3:25 left in this second quarter.
Dracut will get the ball to start the second half, so
yeah,
Lawrence either wants to put up another score here or finish out the quarter with the clock.
Valerio dumps the ball to Chris Pena for a loss.
Pass complete to number 3, Chris Pena. Brought down for a loss. Second down and 13.
Clock under the 3-minute mark, 7-6. Dracut on top.
Nelson with the keep.
Valerio still up.
Valerio on the quarterback keeper. He picks up 5 across his 50-yard line into Dracut territory. Brought down at the 48-yard line.
One of the great things about Valerio as a player is he knows how to get the ball. He knows how to advance the ball with no matter what the situation is. He can get the ball through by running it, and when he can detect almost the defenses where they're looking for the ball to be, and he can really change things up.
Valerio, 3 wide receivers staggered. Fake, gonna go deep. Looking once again for Franger Baez. Gonna be caught. Incomplete. Saying he was out of bounds. So unable to get that foot down. Great pass, great play call selection as well. So 4th down now and 7.
Crispin is on to punt for the Lancers.
And the Lancers will punt the ball.
It's a very close play by Baez. From where we are, it appears that he might have at least dragged 1 foot in.
Nice punt. Taking a fumble on the ball. Chris Pena gets it, and Lawrence recovers. And right now, the Lancers will get the ball back if the play stands, and it does.
And that's a very smart by Chris. That's a very smart play by Chris Pena to fall on the ball, so you get it back and you don't have to punch it in right away.
Once again, clock management.
And you see that from a veteran guy in Pena.
1:39 to go in the first half. Chris Pena with a huge fumble recovery, and that will give Lawrence the ball and the chance for the touchdown here.
Valerio. Back to pass again. This time, there you go. George Urena. Urena up the right sideline and in for a touchdown. The Lancers back on top with 1:30 to go in the first half. Touchdown, George Urena.
Touchdown. Lawrence has retaken the lead, 12-7.
So the Lancers answer the call and refuse to go down here in the first half and go into halftime with what looks like will be at least a 5-point lead. We'll see if they can convert here on a 2-point conversion. Here's Valerio back to pass, and nope, doesn't get it. So it will be a 5-point lead, 12-5, Lancers on top.
Yeah, that's what really kills me about this offense. They can never really get the actual touchdown lead in this kind of situation, because it's technically they're leading by 5. But when other teams can put up the extra point, let's say okay, let's just say that Dracut gets a touchdown here and they get the extra point. They're up by 2. If Lawrence get a touchdown and not get the extra point, they're gonna barely be up. It's just not gonna do them much good. And the fact that they're gonna be down they can be down with the same number of touchdowns as another team regularly is just not good at all.
And it's definitely something Coach Yamin's screaming about right now. And it looks like he's talking to his offensive line. He just had no protection there.
Yeah.
I mean, they just stormed right in. Dracut's defensive line just stormed right in and took Nelson Valerio out.
They brought a blitz from the top side of the field and just
very animated Yamin on the sideline right now. Stuck and hit at the 25-yard line, and that's where Dracut will get the ball.
J.C. Hebert on the kickoff return for Dracut, return of 5 yards. Tackled by Lawrence's number 1, Henry Carpio.
a couple of players having a few words with each other there at the end of the play.
27-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Mittens. They have about 90 seconds to work with before halftime.
So 1:25 left in the first half. Lawrence up 12-7. 5-point lead.
It's probably the biggest minute that this defense will have to play here so far this year, trying to protect this 5-point lead.
Almost intercepted again.
Bassett's pass incomplete. Knocked down at the line by Michael Monclova. Second down and 10 for Dracut.
Good pass coverage there by Lawrence, filling up the pocket quick. Dracut with the fake handoff, pick up 5 on the play.
Bassett's pass complete to number 16, Zach Bassett.
Third down and 5 with a little over a minute to go.
Gain of 8 yards on the play up to the 35-yard line. It's third down and 2. Dracut has called the timeout.
So Dracut will call another timeout, talk it over, a little over 1 minute to play in the first half.
Special teams working in Lawrence's favor so far. That big hit Chris Pena laid on the return man for Dracut, being able to force a fumble and recover it. Very big third down coming up here for this Lancer defense.
Lawrence has had 4 drives in the game. Surprisingly, I mean, they've been long drives, all 4 of them. The first drive ended up in a touchdown. Second was a punt, the third was an interception, and the fourth was a touchdown.
Ty Bassett on the quarterback keeper. The head for a break and first down out to the 48-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Middies.
Bassett will run out of bounds to stop the clock.
Here's Bassett, the pass.
Bassett's pass complete, number 88, Jeff Green.
And the clock stops at 46 seconds.
Across the 50-yard line. Second down, Dracut.
Bassett, long pass, almost picked off. Scoots under the arms.
Number 24, J.C. Hebert, incomplete.
Johnny
Nearly picked
Polanco.
off by Johnny Polanco. Third down, Dracut.
Bassett once again back to pass. First half coming to a close in 30 seconds. Wide open, right down the middle. J.C. Hebert. The reception inside the 30.
J.C. Hebert. That's good for a Dracut first down.
Flag on the play back at about midfield.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
Should go against Dracut.
And it will. It'll go against Dracut. So that'll negate that reception and move the ball back.
Lawrence got very lucky because the wide receiver was wide open.
And that would have put him one or two plays away from a field goal range at least.
And they still have 1 timeout on the clock.
Penalty is against Dracut for an illegal forward pass.
So an illegal forward pass is the penalty
original line of
call.
Before attempting to pass. It's a 5-yard penalty and loss of down. So Dracut will have 4th down and 12 at their own 46-yard line.
4th down and 12.
And James McDonald is
with
on
28 seconds to go here. in the first half.
For Lawrence, number 81, Francis Baez, and number 2, George Arena.
Yeah, during that play when I saw it, I thought maybe it's an illegal forward pass, but I didn't see any flags, so I'm like, oh, probably not. Because at first he did go pretty far before throwing the ball.
About 30 seconds to go here in the first half.
See if Dracut can pull off a bombshell of a play. 4th and a long 12. Going to be punting it away. And it'll take a Dracut bounce to the 20-yard line. And that's where Lawrence will get the ball with 16 seconds left.
43-yard punt. Down by Patrick Noonan at the
So Lawrence has to be very happy with the way, that first half has gone. They've been able to overcome some adversity with an interception here and some missed extra points, but they've been able to come away with a lead at halftime, 12-7. Could be more if you look at special teams, but as a Lawrence coach and player, you have to be happy with what you've seen so far.
You'll take any lead going into halftime, regardless of what it is. And the one play that does kind of hurt this Lancer offense is Nelson Valerio's pick.
And that will do it as they tick off the final seconds of the clock. And at halftime, the Lancers are on top by 5, 12-7. Thanks to 2 touchdown passes by Nelson Valerio to George Arena. The Lancers, for the second time rather this season, first time against Tewksbury, now against Dracut, they have the lead, 12-7. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, live football is proud to welcome representatives.
When you skip breakfast at school, you have no energy. When you have no energy, you fall asleep in class. When you fall asleep in class, you have nightmares of wild animals dancing on your head. Don't have nightmares of wild animals dancing on your head.
Kids who eat breakfast perform better in class, behave better, have better attendance.
Eat a healthy breakfast at school every day.
Sure, I could tell you about school, but I'd rather show you. Please come visit me at school. Being a parent doesn't end when I leave the house. Please come visit me at school. El papel de ser padre no se termina cuando yo salgo a la escuela. Por favor, visítame en la escuela. ¿Se recuerda lo mucho que nos divertíamos en la escuela? Ahora lo vamos a hacer juntos. Por favor, visítame a la escuela. Hay tiempo para ir a visitarme en la escuela. Do you remember how much fun it was to be in school? Let's do it together. Please come visit me at school.
Wake up in the morning, so I have to have some cereal. Healthy eating, healthy living! I stay in shape like room stereo. As I'm in the cafe, I get in line to get my lunch. I ask for some veggies, not peanut butter crunch. I know I like to munch, but the sugar is a bunch. I would like some dairy, just milk will be fun. Healthy eating, healthy living! Have a cool breakfast.
All right, welcome back. Second half action. The Lancers kicking off to the Middies to start the second half. Lancers coming out of halftime with the lead, 12-7. We'll see if they can hang on and get their first win of the season. So the Middies will look to strike back here. The Lancers doing a great job in the first half of moving the ball, controlling the clock, and getting obviously some points on the scoreboard. They've had struggles in the past coming out of the locker room at halftime, specifically last week against Tewksbury.
A couple of first half stats. Nelson Valerio was 9 for 14 with 146 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And the leading receiver is George Urania with 4 catches for 77 yards with those 2 touchdown receptions.
Yeah, it's been basically the Valerio Urania show.
Hebert on the carry on first down.
Don't forget John Roy, though. He's definitely been a key player tonight for them.
Flag on the field.
Special teams stepping up so far, too, for Lawrence. Not being able to get any extra points, but being able to force a fumble on a punt.
Yeah.
On a punt return. Just gave Lawrence the ball late in the first half. Lawrence was then able to punch in their second touchdown of the night.
Penalties against Lawrence for a personal foul. That'll be a 15-yard
personal foul
penalty.
on Lawrence, a 15-yard penalty. So once again,
And a first down for Dracut.
penalties coming back to haunt Lawrence. Last game against Tewksbury at halftime, the coaches tell the kids, hey, don't let up the long run coming out of halftime off the kick. And what do? Well, they let up an 80-yard touchdown return. No one knows what was said in the locker room, but I can tell you probably something very similar. Don't let them score on their first possession.
Very smart on the Dracut part to forcing Lawrence to take the ball in the first half, so they would have the ball coming out. Start the second half.
On the play. Second down at 10.
So Jorby Vargas on the tackle.
First time we heard his name tonight.
Well, he was definitely stopped by that knee injury, but he's recovering pretty well. And
yes, early season injury to Jorby Vargas to his knee as a flag comes into the play.
Complete for a Dracut first down. The penalty flag on the play. Zach Bassett made the reception.
Couple of Lawrence players signaling that it's a penalty on Dracut.
Personal foul against Dracut.
So a personal foul this time on Dracut as the ball comes back to the 46-yard line.
15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty, 9:47 to go in the third quarter. Lawrence is up 12-7.
First and 10, Dracut.
On the end run is number 24, J.C. Hebert.
J.C. Hebert on the carry.
Gained about
7
7 yards.
on first down. Knocked out of bounds around the Lawrence 45-yard line by Jerry Velez. Ball spotted at the 46. So Dracut will have second down and 2.
So a 2nd and 2 for the Middies from the 46. Ty Bassett will keep it, and he'll get the first down and about 8 more as he brings the ball down to the 35-yard line.
Justin Flores made the tackle. First and 10 Dracut at the Lawrence 35.
So the chains will move, clock will stop and then start. Dracut Middies doing a great job right now moving the ball. First drive of the second half for the Middies. Perfect opportunity there.
Pass intended for J.C. Hebert.
J.C. Hebert wide open in the flat, unable to get the reception to him. Trey, I see you have the MVC small school division standings. You want to run down those for us while we have a second?
Well, leading the league and division wins are North Andover and Tewksbury with 2 wins and 0 losses. They are 3-3 overall and 3-4 overall, respectively. Haverhill comes in at 3rd, 1-1, 5-2 overall, while Methuen and Dracut are 0-1, 2-5 both. And Lawrence is 0-7 overall and just very bad position.
But as you said, I mean, the division, I mean, of only one team that's 2-0, North Andover, the new team to the MVC, the new kid on the block. And other than that, it's pretty much wide open. So Thanksgiving will have a big say in how things are done. Big stop by the Lancers there. Carlos Gonzalez in the stop.
With a sack for Lawrence, a 10-yard loss. Moves Dracut back to the 45-yard line. It'll be 4th and 20.
Carlos Gonzalez, a big sack.
That brings up a punting situation for the Middies. James McDonald, number 10, back to punt. George Urena and Fran Baez are deep to receive.
So the Middies will be forced to punt. Back to return, Franger Baez and George Urena. So John Roy getting a break. The kick down to the 15-yard line. Baez taken down, flag in the play. Looked for a face mask. It looked like he was taken down by his face mask. We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, threw that flag right away.
Yeah.
So it was definitely something pretty obvious.
Yeah. We'll see what the call is.
Penalty against Dracut for a face mask. 15-yard penalty, moves the ball out to the 35-yard
penalty on Dracut. 15-yard penalty for the face mask. And that's where the Lancers will start from the 35. 3 wide receivers near side. Nelson Valerio in at quarterback. Jeremiah Dameron in motion. Here's Baez, and looked at the guy coming at him. Unable to catch the ball.
2nd down and 10.
.7:27 to go in the 3rd quarter, 12-7. Lancers on top. Valera, nice fake. Urena caught it, dropped it. At the line of scrimmage, it'll bring up 3rd down.
For George Urena, incomplete. 3rd down, Lawrence.
Well, suddenly it looks like Lawrence's receiving players aren't really doing that good at holding on to the ball. Baez had a little trouble. Urena had some trouble getting that ball. It's just that really cost them some good downs, and now they're in a 3rd down position where they're kind of forced to pass the ball when everyone's dropping it.
Beautiful route by Franger Baez.
He'll take it wide open field down the right sideline, and he'll be out of bounds at the 22-yard line, and even more.
Well, he didn't drop that one.
Franger coming on, running a quick slant. Nelson found him right away. Put the ball anywhere where his receiver would be able to catch it. See, when in need of a 1st down, they
go to the big boy. And going to be stuck for a loss of 1 or 2 on the play.
John Roy on the carry.
John Roy giving the ball.
Loss by Patrick Noonan, number 43. 2nd down, Lawrence.
Lawrence knocking on Dracut's door, seeing if they can put some more points on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10. Valerio keeps it. He'll scramble up the middle and get it close to the 10-yard line. Bring up a 3rd down and about 5.
Something funny you've noticed when watching Valerio run. He doesn't kind of run with any grace. It just looks like he's
scrambling,
running for his life. He's literally screaming, not just.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
It does look like he's scrambling for his life. He probably thinks so, especially after the hits he took against Tewksbury in the previous week. All right, Valerio with Jeremiah Dameron to his left and 4 wide receivers. 3rd and 5. And going to be tipped. Frangibai has caught it. He'll take it up, and looks like he has the 1st down. Flag on the play. We'll see what this one is. Looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct or a late hit, as it was thrown in late.
Very late. Coach Mean is not going to be happy if it's against Lawrence.
Personal foul, Lawrence. So right now, personal fouls killing the Lancers. And Aaron, you were right. Yameen is furious trying to figure out who is on.
So there's also a play with the 1st down for Lawrence. After the play, the personal foul penalty against Lawrence, that moves the ball out to the 21-yard line where it's 1st and 10.
And Lawrence has always seemed to be getting these personal fouls at the worst of times. They'll really get them right when they can't afford to not score. Like right now, they're up by 5. A touchdown would put them in double-digit lead. But suddenly they have something where they have to get these personal fouls at all these times.
Here's Chris Pena scrambling. He'll take it to the outside out of bounds. Bring a 2nd down and about 4.
Pass complete to Chris Pena. He had 6 yards on 1st down, and 2nd down and about 4 for Lawrence. That's a break at 15.
Second and 4 for Lawrence. A little over 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Jeremiah Dameron in the backfield. Fake handoff. Valerio tossing it up. John Roy wide open, catching a touchdown. Lawrence. John Roy having a great game for the Lancers, and he finds his 1st trip into the end zone tonight. And the Lancers are now up 18-7.
Valerio's 3rd touchdown pass of the night.
Valerio.
13th touchdown pass of the season.
3 TD passes tonight. 2 to the arena and 1 now to John Roy.
18-7 Lawrence with the conversion pending.
This is a great play all around.
Yeah.
Nelson pump fake to John Roy, and then John Roy finished out his route. Nelson found him.
Let's see if they can convert here on the 2-point conversion to make it 20-7. So far, Lawrence is 0 for 2. Here's the fake give. Valerio rolls, passes, and let's see if Chris Pena's in. So they convert. How about that, Trey?
I'd still rather have had 3 extra.
I know. Take him as you can get him right now. So the Lancers on top, 20-7.
Dracut 7.
John Roy getting his 1st touchdown of the game.
Definitely a big play there. Now they're finally up by double digits. If they can hold on to this lead, they're just going to definitely have a good game, even if they lose. Still, but the chances of that right now are slim. I mean, I like the way Lawrence is playing.
It's been a long time. Actually, first time you've said that all season.
Well, it's hard.
Right?
It's hard to go against them. They're up 20-7.
Yeah.
They're playing well.
They are playing well.
It's good to see all sides of the ball coming out and play.
Can't tell you that during their last 7 losses. I'm not going to tell you. But today definitely makes sense.
Lawrence with a squib kick. They might have recovered it, but there is a penalty on the play.
And your seniors from the class of 2013, Ashley Arbaez, Shelly Vargas, co-captain Yolanda Gonzalez, co-captain Winnie Severis, and captain Ana Marina Acosta. The head coach to the Lancers football cheerleaders is Jenny Blatchford, assisted by Lenny Duran.
So 3:58 to go here in the third quarter. Lawrence on top, 20-7. Dracut trying to get something going here in the second half. So that's something we haven't really seen most of the season, kind of a positive offensive drive by the Lancers to start the second half, almost a direct carryover from the first.
Good to see that the emotions are still where they are, and they're not done yet. They want to come out, put as much up as they can. Nelson throwing the ball beautifully tonight.
Fumble on the play. Ty Bassett unable to handle the snap. But Dracut recovers, and it'll be just a loss of 2 on the play. Bring up a 2nd and 12. Clock continues to run. Back to pass is Bassett, scrambling, trying to get something, evading the Lawrence defenders, and he'll going to be hit out of bounds at the 36-37 yard line.
Pick up a 4 yards of the play. Knocked out of bounds by number 35, Tommy Tran.
Bassett to pass, can he throw it wide?
Bassett's pass intended for number 43, Patrick Noonan, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down for Dracut at their own 37-yard line. McDonald is set to punt.
So Dracut unable to get anything going on that drive, and they'll be forced to punt it away. Franger Baez back to receive, as well as George Urena. High snap. Beautiful punt. Spiral. Urena on the reception. He'll take it on the far side up to the 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
McDonald with a 33-yard.
So Lawrence with great field position. 3:08 to play in the third quarter. 20-7. Lawrence on top. Lawrence on the verge. I don't want to jinx anything, guys, but on the verge of getting their first win of the season, and it could be a second first of many here for the Lawrence High School Athletics. Field hockey getting their first win in a long time this week, and now football looking to get their first win of the season. Larry with the give to Justin Flores. He'll be stopped. The gain of 1.
Flores on the carry. Picks up 2 yards on 1st down.
I'll tell you, it's been a long time since Lawrence has had a quarterback that can throw the ball and run the ball the way that Nelson Valerio has. And for a sophomore, I mean, man, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, you're going back a couple of years to actually Ramon Heredia.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Nick Elwell was more of a passing quarterback.
Right.
Nate Baez had both aspects of that towards him, but his height
prevented him.
Right, exactly. And then, like you said, it's good to see. I mean, Nelson got his shot here this year.
He made the most of it.
After Lewis went out, and Nelson has definitely played great football this whole season.
3rd down and 8.
Here's a bunch of touchdown passes. He's around 1,200 passing yards after the first half.
And he's right there in the top of the league when it comes to touchdown passes.
Granted, he has a couple of picks, but as a young quarterback, you'll make a few mistakes here and there.
Yeah.
As long as your touchdowns are higher than your interception totals, That's all that coaches care about, especially that at this level. They just want to make sure that guys are going out and making the right reads and putting the ball where it needs to be put.
Back to pass, Valerio wide open. Urena still on his feet, cutting back through the middle. Down at the 25-yard line and a first down for the Lancers.
And just like that, Nelson puts the ball where he has to put it.
Yeah, now it's going to be really hard to go against the Lancers. They have this offensive rhythm tonight, and that play just kind of proves that they're ready to take on teams like Dracut and win.
Nice offensive rhythm, Trey. Exactly how I've seen it this game so far. Flores kind of jetting back and forth, nowhere to go, and needs to be stopped for a loss. And that offensive rhythm you're talking about, Trey, you know, running the clock is such a huge thing, especially in a second half of a football game, and that's what they've done. They've dominated the clock. Be interesting to see time of possession on this one because they've done a great job of that.
Huge difference on time of possession.
Oh, yeah.
I actually don't remember much about seeing the Dracut quarterback. I can't really compare him to Luis Rosa because I've barely seen him get the ball. Rosa, I've seen him, Rosa, I keep saying that. Valerio, I've been seeing him do a variety of things, and I could say, oh, well, he's so good at this. But I can't say that at all for the Dracut quarterback because he just hasn't gotten the ball at all.
Valerio going deep, caught at the 2-yard line. Franger Baez leaping in the air for the reception.
It's good to see this team is finally coming together, especially after the tough season they've had so far.
Guess what? Penalty flag. Oh, man, it's against Lawrence. Chop block, and that's going to move him back.
They still have one more tough game on their schedule coming up next week against the 5-2 Haverhill Hillies, which is a surprising record that they've put up so far. Last couple of years, they've been another struggling program in the area. Look for these two teams to go head-to-head. As long as Lawrence can keep this play up, next week should be very interesting. And there's so much history between Lawrence and Haverhill, regardless of the sport. The last couple of years, two schools in the area that don't really like each other.
14 seconds to go here.
At the end of the third quarter, here's Veterans Memorial
wind the
Stadium.
clock down. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Lawrence increasing their lead, now up 20-7 thanks to a John Roy touchdown and a 2-point conversion by the Lancers.
Finally, they are up by double digits. This is their best game of the season by a landslide. They have dominated so far. I wouldn't say dominated. They have done dominated is a really strong word. They have done extremely well, and they have just really, I think they've solidified themselves as a future contender, not necessarily this year because it's already like 0-7. But next year, I think they can be a contender.
Like you said, you were talking to some of the younger players, this year in school, and they're looking forward to the next couple of years, which is good to see that they have some youth behind them. Lawrence will start the ball in the fourth quarter. Big 2nd and 25 here. Nelson drops back to pass. Look for John Roy, almost picked off.
Pass intended for John Roy, incomplete.
Very tough pass there. Nelson was lucky it wasn't picked off. Lawrence facing a 3rd down and 25.
Look for them to throw the ball deep and to one of their star receivers.
Nelson on the scramble picks up a couple.
Recently, this week, actually today, big change coming to the way state high school football playoffs are going to be run. The MIA making a big change. Most notably, the fact that there are typically 19 Super Bowl champions across Western, Central, and Eastern Massachusetts. That proposal that was passed this week was now going to reduce that to 6 champions only across the state. Most notably for the Merrimack Valley, teams that play a rival for a Thanksgiving game. So let's just take, I don't know, Chelmsford versus Billerica. Okay, they play on Thanksgiving. Well, now they're going to have to play a regular season game earlier in the season as well. So there's a chance, notably, you can play a team 3 times in one season.
Exactly. And it's good. It's good to see that they're making that changeover, because it gets rid of all the point system that they have going on. And sometimes some schools you play, you get more points than other schools if you win. It's just a tough system that they run right now. And high school football is one of the only sports that is no longer in that system. All other sports have separate champions.
See, I'm not really the biggest fan of it, because I think it's good, but to a point, when they cut down the number of champions, a lot of school fans and schools don't really get that chance to really savor the victory that is a championship like that. And it really kind of, it just bothers me.
Yeah, but if you're gonna go out and win a championship, you want to be the best team possible. I mean, like Bay said, you have 19 different champions being crowned at the end of the year, and after so many years, that just gets to be too much.
Yeah, I mean, right now the plan's going to call for the season for all football games to end on Thanksgiving, and then the 6 state championships will occur afterward. It's basically eliminating that Tuesday night game.
Right.
It used to be that after the Thanksgiving game, they play on a Tuesday night, and then the following Saturday would be the championship. That's eliminating it.
Yeah, it's like a 9-day layoff between Thanksgiving and...
And part of that is by having now these super conferences, if you will. You know, the MVC adding in North Andover this year to make it the super conference, if you will, of high school football here in Massachusetts. And so you have these bigger leagues like the Merrimack Valley Conference, and it's going to cut the teams going down into the playoffs.
Ball spotted at the 35-yard line.
I still don't like the rule. It's just a person, I guess.
And Trey, you're not alone. A lot of people are just reading up on the Boston.com on this one. A lot of other coaches are upset about it, especially kind of getting rid of the rivalry. A lot of high schools rely on that Thanksgiving game as that rivalry game.
Exactly.
They wait for all season long. Now you're going to be playing them earlier in the season.
It's not really the same, though.
Yeah.
It's just kind of gets rid of the spirit behind that game.
If you look at another big rivalry game that's played on Thanksgiving, is an Andover Central game.
Right.
So like you said, that game will be played earlier in the year.
And then they'll play again on Thanksgiving.
Right, and they'll play again.
And then with both those teams being such powerhouses as it is in the MVC, they may meet a third time in the playoffs.
Right. Which is, I mean, it's good, but at the same time, it's a little bit crazy. But like I said, if you wanna be crowned champion, you gotta go through the best teams around.
And all those games, all the championship games, will be played at Gillette Stadium.
Well, at least the championship games will all be played there. I mean, that gives them something special to feel about. But still, I don't like it. Still bothers me.
I'm sure you'll hear a lot more of it as the football season goes along.
But if for some reason that would have been passed last year, Lawrence actually would have made the playoffs because they had enough wins to get in, especially in the MVC small school. They would have won it and then gone on to the postseason. The team that replaced them was actually Reading, and Reading ended up making it to the Super Bowl.
These are Lawrence's next 2 opponents. The Lancers play at Haverhill next Friday and then at Methuen the following week. Right now, Haverhill leads Methuen 28-14 after 3 quarters.
8:22 left in the 4th quarter of play.
Lawrence on top, 20-7. Right now, trying to work the clock. Chris Pena taking it out of bounds, and a flag on the play. Multiple flags flying everywhere.
Yeah, he's out of bounds around the 40-yard line. There's a penalty flag on the play.
And it's going to be holding on Lawrence.
Yeah, look at the very end of that. The very end when Pena hit the outside.
And apparently the crowd didn't sound very happy about the flag.
Not a lot of penalties called on Dracut tonight. Mostly all on Lawrence.
But the way they've been moving the ball,
yeah,
it hasn't affected them. They are up 20-7.
10 yards in front of the foul. They'll move the ball back to the 23-yard line where it'll be.
Yeah, they've really counteracted it with some good plays.
Which is good to see. They're not letting these personal fouls get them down.
Almost a fumble. Chris Pena holds on to it, and he's going to be stuffed back to the 20-yard line.
Chris Pena, the ball carrier for Lawrence. He's hit at the line scrimmage stop for no gain.
Dracut has 4 timeouts remaining.
21.
.43 as the clock continues to tick. Get nearer to should be a very jubilant player celebration, getting their first win.
They'll be on the road for a couple of weeks, and then come back here for Thanksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving, to play Salem. Another struggling team this year so far.
So Lancers head to Haverhill, then Methuen, and then, as you say, come back for Thanksgiving. It's kind of something unique. They're also doing the night before Thanksgiving, playing.
First time they've done it. I think the change is good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure you're out here so early on Thanksgiving morning. Thanksgiving at itself is just a long, drawn-out day. So many people.
But what would Thanksgiving be without high school football, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or football, for that matter. Valerio back to pass, gonna go deep. Has Urena open, caught it, and out of bounds. Wow, what a catch. Great pass and a catch. And out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Urena having a game of a lifetime right now.
A gain of 37 yards.
37-yard reception.
The one thing that did help Urena on that reception is Urena and the defensive back were all over each other.
Yeah.
Pushing and shoving, so that's one reason why you didn't see a flag thrown. The officials must have felt like it was going, they were giving it to each other back and forth.
Valerio the pitch to Flores. Flores stuffed, breaks one tackle, 2, and met back at the 30-yard line. Ball loose. Gonna go forward though. And it looks like Lawrence got the ball back. We'll see what the call is, and it is.
Ball just bouncing in Lawrence's favor tonight.
Injured Dracut player on the field, so they recover their own fumble to pick up 5 yards.
Lawrence up 20-7 here with 6 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. This is the last home game in for a while, I believe, for Lawrence football, and it's a really good thing that they're winning this game because.
And they're gonna help him up now, slowly.
sign of respect from both teams. All players get down on one knee until the injured player is gotten up.
And now the clock will run. Ball placed at the 27-yard line. 2nd down and 5.
Less than 6 minutes to go now. Lawrence is less than 6 minutes from their first victory of the season.
Valerio wanted to throw it. Will keep it. Down to the 25.
Valerio, the quarterback keeper, picked up 2 yards.
Smart decision there too on his behalf.
3rd and 3, so a big 3rd down here. Talking about ball control, let's see if they can get this key 3rd down to be able to put the game away. Continue the drive.
And with the way their offense has been clicking so far, you have no idea what they're going to come out and do right here.
Urena near side, along with John Roy, Franger Baez, and Chris Pena. Far side, Jeremiah Dameron inside. Baez, incomplete pass.
Pass intended for Franger
Too high.
Incomplete.
So a bad throw that time by Nelson Valerio, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Now the thing is, it's not over because they don't really ever put out the field goal unit, though they might now.
Well, here's the 4th down territory. They're gonna.
You're up 27, but you still need to try and move the ball as much as possible.
It's a 4th and 3. You go for it.
Yeah, we've all seen what high school teams can do.
I think Bill Belichick would do it.
He probably would.
Yeah, he's trying whatever he can right now.
5:04 to play, 20-7. Lawrence trying to put this one away, draw them off sides, almost did. And Lawrence will call a timeout.
Timeout, Lawrence.
Some inexperience too with Nelson there in that situation. You call for a quick snap.
Exactly.
And you pick up the 1st down on the 5-yard penalty. Something to go over in film.
Impressed with the way Nelson Valerio has come through in this game, especially after being hit so many times against Tewksbury. Able to fight through the injuries. Got a tough quarterback.
Knocked him around a little bit, but seems like it might have toughened him up. He stayed in there a couple of times, taking a couple of hits, a couple of hurries up. Overall, everyone's playing well.
3 for Lawrence.
John Roy back in the game. George Urena. Back to pass. Going to Roy. Met at the 20. Be good enough for a 1st down. Huge 1st down.
Now you can expect them to let the clock wind down after a few plays. Try to keep things going as slowly as possible while still getting a touchdown.
Situation where you run the ball as much as possible.
Run the ball, keep the clock ticking.
Now if for some reason you come down to a 4th down situation, then you play calling change a little bit depending on where you are on the field.
And there's Jeremiah Dameron. He'll take it up the middle.
Jeremiah Dameron on the carry.
And all that matters right now is time of possession. Just let that clock run out.
James McDonald on the tackle.
And Dracut's not going to do anything about it. They're not going to stop the clock with their timeouts. They have 4 remaining. Lawrence has 4 remaining as well.
Now at the Dracut 16.
Coach Mino call it timeout.
Timeout, Lawrence.
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
I really don't.
That really made no
you
sense.
let the clock go, and you know it's a 2nd down and 8.
Seemed to be some confusion though. They weren't too sure what they were going with. Granted, you are trying to run the ball. try and savor the victory a little bit.
Yeah, we talk a lot of these games that we've done this year where the Lancers are, for all of them, they've been losing. And we say they can build on this win, they can build on this one, they can build on this one. And, you know, and hopefully get, and they always lose. Now you finally have a win, and you know, you kind of see all that stuff come to fruition. They've really worked hard on a lot of aspects of their game, especially offensively and defensively as well. Still got to work on that special teams.
Yeah, that's the one place I think that really needs work. If they can get a strong special teams, they will be really a force, in my opinion. I think you have Valerio developing. Next year, I think he'll be really good. He'll be able to run the ball very comfortably. Right now, you can see he's really not comfortable with it. He's like, knows he can do it. He knows it's an option, but he doesn't seem to like it too much from the way he does it. And then passing the ball, he's already been doing pretty good. With that developing, he'll just become great.
And it's having the targets to throw to as well.
Now, granted, you have George Arena and Franjo Baez, who are both seniors.
Inside the break at 10-yard line. Tripped up by Ryan Kerrigan.
John Roy.
Right.
So all of his targets are seniors.
I believe Justin Flores, right, also is a senior. Justin Flores, Chris Pena.
That's going to leave Lawrence about 1 yard shy. 4th down and 1 for Lawrence.
So they got some developing to do, but they definitely have the quarterback of the future. Like Trey said, he can take off pretty easily on his own when he has to. And he has no problem slinging the ball, as we've seen here tonight, just throwing it up.
.250 to go here in the game. And
timeout Lawrence.
Why?
Another timeout by Lawrence. It's like, hey, let's savor this moment a little bit longer each time.
You know, I was thinking it would be Dracut because that makes sense, but hey, they're doing Dracut a favor apparently. I think they're blackmailing you. So he has to take his timeouts now, and he also has to bench.
Conspiracy. Huh,
he also has to bench Valerio. It's crazy.
Jeremiah Dameron in the backfield. And I don't even know what's going on right now. Jeez.
Bad snap, apparently.
Bad snap. Tried to draw him off sides. Went to call a timeout, but the ball was snapped. And in that, it looked like the ball was snapped before the timeout.
Lawrence recovered the fumble snap at the 24-yard line, but that
communication breakdown. Maybe that's why they went ahead and called some of their timeouts. Try and
talk about some confusion to close out a game.
Everybody's emotions are starting to build up, so they're playing a little sloppy, but
Middy's moving the ball up to and beyond the 35-yard line.
Across the 35-yard line.
2:37 until Lawrence may be able to taste victory. You still can't count the middies out. You never know what can happen.
And it's going to be incomplete.
The receiver became a defender there.
When we talk about closing out a game, I mean, that last drive there, that's on both the players and the coaches. You're calling way too many, not having the communication, and then you're forced to call the timeouts. So now you're stopping the clock. You're not moving the ball.
This game, the clock should be easily under 2 minutes.
Easily.
Easily.
It's insulting.
Pass, intended for Jeff Green. Incomplete.
I just don't get how this game is still going. Well, oh, I get how it's going. I'm sorry. I don't get how this game is still over 2 minutes to go. I mean, 2:20.
So poor clock management to end it. You were doing a great job all game. Just like that, I'll bring up a 4th down for Dracut. Ty Bassett looking for J.C. Hebert on the play. Incomplete.
And Lawrence's poor moves have led to this game still going, and it's still anyway. I still think it could go either way, but I have to lean far in Lawrence's favor.
We have 4th and 10 here. Last chance effort for the Middies, and they'll get the 1st down at midfield. Pass complete to number 24, J.C. Hebert.
Just a breakdown in coverage.
Yeah. Clock stops as they reset the chains, and the clock will start up again. And Ty Bassett in the shotgun.
The fact that it's just now cracking 2 minutes is ridiculous. Lawrence could already be
Bassett
basically clinching this victory.
Bassett gets a gain of 2 on that. Out of bounds at the 52-yard line. 1:51 to go. Lawrence up 20-7. Here's Bassett flagging the play, and it'll be incomplete, intended for Jeff Green.
With all these calls, incomplete passes, timeouts, I think this game's going to go on forever. This is crazy.
Bassett upset that the ball was thrown so low.
Penalty's going to go against Lawrence.
Penalty against Lawrence, offside. The 5-yard penalty moves the ball down to the 44-yard line.
Feels like a basketball game. You know, the final 2 minutes of a basketball game can take a half hour.
I don't mind getting paid by the hour.
Ty Bassett, complete.
Covered by Jadiel Polanco to fall on top of the receiver.
Good for a Dracut 1st down. 1st and 10 now at the Lawrence.
Hurry up offense.
Minute and a half to play.
And there's a flag. It's going to be too many men on the field. Lawrence had 12 men. As the player was trying to get off, didn't get off in time. It'll be declined, obviously, as a reception up to the 25-yard line.
On the field before that snap. Penalty is against Lawrence for having 12 men on the field prior to the snap. Dracut will decline the penalty and accept the result of the play, which is a 1st and 10 at the Lawrence 23.
Dracut running the hurry-up offense to perfection right now, 3rd straight play. And gonna be picked off! Picked off at the 15-yard line by Lawrence to seal the deal. Israel Santiago to close it out for the Lancers. Israel's been hoping for this. Lot of celebration right now on the Lancers sideline. Israel Santiago with the interception.
Has given Lawrence the ball.
Sealing the deal.
1st and 10 for the Lancers, just inside their own 20-yard line.
So Santiago, Israel Santiago, the senior, with the interception.
Take a couple of kneel downs here and run the clock out.
A minute 14 remain in the game with Lawrence now in possession of the football.
And Dracut will call a timeout.
I thought that was Lawrence.
They will have 2 timeouts. Yes. 1st and 10 Lawrence.
Look for Dracut to use their final 2 timeouts in the next couple of drives.
Lawrence players sniffing the sweet smell of victory here. First victory of the season coming over Dracut. Assuming all this stays true to form, the Lancers will move to 1-7. Dracut will move to 2-6. And the Lancers will take this win and hit the road to Haverhill and then Methuen. 2 tough games out of them. .114 to go. Lawrence on top, 20-7. Let's see if they can run the clock. Here's Jeremiah Dameron right up the middle.
Jeremiah Dameron
hold on to it.
Picks up 2 yards on first down.
And they'll let the clock run. Dracut won't call a timeout.
James McDonald made the tackle. Second down and 8 for Lawrence.
And apparently Dracut doesn't care too much to take the timeouts. I mean, it's already like,
yeah,
it's clinched.
So a lot of hugs, a lot of high fives on the Lancer sideline.
Personally, I would take timeout because I don't know. I'm that kind of a person. Even though it's a 13-point lead, but
there's Chris Pena, far sideline, flag on the play, which will stop the clock.
See, I just don't give up like that. But
Chris Pena on the carry, he ripped off a gain of 20. There is a penalty flag on the play.
We'll have
18 seconds.
We'll have smiles all around.
Yeah.
Players and coaches.
And fans, even the cheerleaders are hugging.
Everybody's
Let's have a group hug, guys. Group hug.
I think the cheerleaders are hugging just because they're cold.
Okay. Jerry, has this made it a little bit more fun for you now with the win here?
Definitely.
Or were you hoping for another loss?
No, I'm glad with this. I was hoping for the loss, but this is good. But yeah, it's like, it was just so tough to.
And the Lancers clock will run down.
And finally, 1-7.
That'll put the wheel away. The Lancers getting their first win of the season. Final score, Lawrence Lancers 20. And the Lancers 20 and Dracut Midi 7. This one was all Georgia Arena and Nelson Valerio.
Yeah, definitely.
Completely. Thanks to them, Lancers will get their first win of the season. And they'll hit the road, hit Methuen and Haverhill before they're returning back home for the night before Thanksgiving football game. So, good note here. Lancers getting their first win. We'll move to 1-7. Dracut moves to 2-6. That'll do it for us, everybody. For Trey Cruz, Darren Cerullo, everybody here. I'm Brian Bates. Have a great evening, everybody.